Another Saturday along the tracks at Pelham, and what's up, rail fans? I'm here at Lee Street Crossing, at Control Point Lee, and among the rail fans, I'm here with Lee. Funny how that works out, huh? He's been out here way before I drove up, and even said a southbound on the S&A came by, but he just missed the power. Speaking of trains, looking down there at the Lineville, just at the Highway 52 crossing, I do see a pair of headlights. That is I-184 coming from Fairborn on its way to East Thomas Yard, BNSF. They're waiting for a parent southbound train, but no one knows where it's at right now. Well, with the looks of nothing going to happen, Lee decided to leave, so I was hanging here by myself. And of course, the moment he leave, I looked over there to Murray on the S&A, and what was it showing? A medium clear. That means they're about to let this train loose. So that also means Lee Street is showing a medium approach medium. Red over yellow over flashing green. Well, with things all set and lined up, here comes those stacks. Wow, I think that's the fastest I've seen any train take this crossover. And a quick look back at the Lee Street signal, and things are all lined up for that southbound. Clear signal. It was a few minutes, but already knocking down North End Pelham and coming up the hill, we have M647, long distance train to Waycross, with YN2 329 leading. Hey, same number as my birthday. But yeah, you heard me right, M647. This was once Q647, but CSX has been re-IDing all their trains. So now the auto racks, the manifest, the miscellaneous, and some of the remaining division locals now have the M prefix. Considering the tonnage of this train and how far it has to go, I'm surprised it only had 2 units. But I did hear some train talk about having DP problems. I wonder if this was the one. After all that, Lee did return. I'm thinking he went home, but he went to grab some lunch. So I had to explain that he missed 2 trains, and he was not too happy about that. With that being said, off he went. But I also did hear that a track inspector will be following M647. I'm not sure how far south, but he will be passing through here eventually. Now on the opposite end of the control point, I did notice some track work equipment sitting here. That just foretells some track work and probably some curfews will be coming up, if not already. But while checking this out, something is telling me I should go check out the SNA. So, jumping over there, and wouldn't you know, clear signal Murray. Of course, I did bring this up with Lee, and he did reply with an angry face emoji. Sorry about that, Lee. While the wait was on, I was deciding whether or not to shoot from the inside or the outside of the curve. Looking at the inside, there's nothing but construction signs, so yeah, that'll be picturesque. So outside it is. Not to mention I'm under this nice shady tree. It was supposed to be cooling down, but it didn't stay cool long. Anyway, we get some mixed freight rolling up the track at near track speed, M524. In typical rail fanning fashion, it does get quiet on the tracks at times. So quiet, it just makes you want to pack up and leave. Of course, I almost fell victim to this until I noticed Lee Street was showing a clear signal for southbound. So, a nice U-turn back, and I'm here at Donut Joe's under this nice shaded spot. I mean, I love the heat, but it is hot out today. But I wasn't alone in this endeavor. I wasn't the only rail fan out here, to be honest. No, not Lee, but we did have a third one. That's Bill over there in that blue car. He's been here since I-184 was sitting there. Hey, Bill. I gave him the heads up that southbound was on its way, but then Montana chimed in and said there will be 3 of them heading our way, so yay for southbound parade. Thinking the first one was going to be taking the Lineville, that was not the case. A quick hop over to the SNA and we get some loaded grain. G415 with an SD70 in the lead. Okay, now back to Donut Joe's. And I like shooting from here because the way the trees are along the top of the screen, they also make a nice border if you take a picture. Speaking of which, you'll see here in a second because we get some loaded coal, C040. As mentioned before, CSX has been re-IDing their trains. This was formerly N040, but most of the N trains with the N prefix now have a C. C for coal. Seems legit. Okay, now for the third train on this southbound parade. Now from reading the group chats, this is the train Bill was waiting for. Ethanol train B735 off of the CN out of Clearing Yard, bound for Jacksonville. The run-through power of this train is common, it's usually Canadian National, but I wasn't aware of what was leading. Take a look. And to make things easier, it is also in the siding, so it's moving at restricted speed. And again, this is an ethanol train, so it used to have the K prefix, but just like many trains out there, it has a new one. This one has a B, B for bulk commodity. Here comes the end of this train with another CN unit shoving in the back as DP. However, he is not in the siding because of opposite traffic or someone is overtaking. It's just in the siding for it being a low priority train, or that's my best guess. Anyway, I'm done here, so in Pelham, milepost ANJ 959.54 on the Lineville sub. Thanks for watching. Until the next milepost.